Oh no. What up, you lab rats? This is episode number 37, and we got a lot of echo in here, but we're going to talk about how to approach another content creator or blogger for a favor. Stay tuned. Hey, what's up, everyone? This is the Lab Rat Dailies, the in-between show of the main show that features Kevin and I, my fiance and I, talking about building a business together. And the Lab Rat Dailies, if you're new to the show, is just kind of the in-between daily podcast with just you and me. We hang out, we do this kind of thing. We talk about business, and I give each day a theme. And today's theme, which is Saturday, is the Weekend Warrior theme. So usually I'm going to cover stuff on like how to do stuff, tutorials, visual type things. As you can tell if you've been watching the show, I'm not in front of my fancy podcast mic sitting at my desk because it is freaking hot upstairs and we're going through this crazy heat wave in February and it's supposed to be like raining right now. But actually it's like 90 degrees up in this bitch. So what we're going to talk about today is, like I said, how to approach another content creator, blogger, YouTuber with a favor. So sometimes, you know, I'm not even that like big of a blogger or whatever, but occasionally I'll get something on my in my email saying, hey, could you, sorry to bother you, but could you go to my YouTube channel, check out my YouTube channel and like my channel and subscribe? Or could you go to my fan page and like my page? Sorry to bother you and stuff like that. Or I'll get messages saying, hey, great show, and you guys really have a good thing going on there, but it would mean a lot if you could come and review my show because, you know, us podcasters, we gotta keep the reviews up, right? And those are really not the optimum ways of approaching another content creator or blogger to do those things that you want. All right, so mainly you want another supporter who has a bigger fan base than you do to kind of piggyback off their fan base so that maybe some of their audience will trickle into your audience, and that's cool, that's fine. I'm not saying that's like a bad thing, but the problem with that, okay, the problem with that is that you're not giving me anything in return. Like, why should I? Right? Like, you're not answering the very first question that content creators should be addressing, which is, why should I support you? Right? Have you done anything for me? And I'm sorry, it's not this tit for tat sort of thing, but if I'm being approached by many of these emails, and maybe I do have a little bit bigger audience than you, and this is anybody, you know, if you're approaching somebody who's a little bit more established, and it's kind of just like a respect thing too, right? Like, I can't go to Pat Flynn and say, hey, Pat Flynn, can you come and like my page and tell me what I'm doing wrong or whatever, and tell me that I'm awesome and tell me that everything's going to be okay and that my content is really good, and then that's it. Like, why am I going to expect of somebody, anybody really, to do that when I haven't offered them anything of value, right? So I haven't come bearing gifts, basically, right? I haven't even fluttered you with a bunch of compliments either. I just say, hey, you got a good thing going over there. I see that you got a pretty good thing going. And that just kind of says to me, like, okay, hey, you look like you know what you're doing. And I'm just going to skip all that work that you probably went through. And could you just bring that goodness over to me? Like, it's a lazy way of approaching another content creator to kind of piggyback off of their hard work, right? It is a lot of hard work to create content day in and day out, like I do, say, or other content creators that create daily content, and then you know, just expect somebody to not even acknowledge that, right? So I think it's really important, if you plan on either collaborating with other content creators, or if you want a favor from these other content creators, or say a review or something like that, it's really important that you come bearing gifts, that you offer them something of value, so it answers the question of why. Like, why should I do that for you? Okay, so it's not like it's a mean thing. It's not like it's a popularity contest, like we're the cool kids and you're not the cool kids. It's nothing like that. It just goes to address the first and foremost step, which is to show respect for that content creator and what they're doing and the hard work that they put into their content. And that means that you give them what they want first, and then, it's a give and take. It's a give and take. So say, hey, I'm a content creator, and the best way to approach me with some sort of, hey, could you do this for me? X, Y, and Z, you can fill that in with anything, is to approach me with something like, hey, I've been following your channel for a long time. I really enjoyed episode number whatever. It really helped me, get through X, Y, and Z. And I was wondering if you could, answer this question that I have in my business on your show, so you can get content for your show. You can address this in your show. And that would be kind of like the first little jab, okay? So that would be the first kind of little jab. It's like you're introducing yourself as a follower, like a loyal fan. You've been following for some time, and you've been paying attention to their content, and that you appreciate their content. And that right there, plays to my ego. It says, yay, I'm doing a good job putting out the content that I'm putting out, and it's making a difference in somebody's life, and there's proof of that because you told me. And then another thing is, you're also offering another bit of value to this person by saying, hey, can you answer my question on your show? That way you're going to have, content, some more content. If you want, you can have more content for your show moving forward. So that's something that I can use. And then you can just kind of sign off from there. And then if you keep kind of jabbing with this kind of interaction and engagement with this content creator that you want to gain favor with, and it all kind of sounds kind of shallow, but that's really what it is. That's how you kind of make and build relationships online, okay? Because you can't just meet somebody, have a conversation just like this. It's a little bit different. So you need to kind of get it is kind of like having a face-to-face conversation. I wouldn't just sit down in front of you in Starbucks and say, like my page, please. All right. I wouldn't do that to you. I would try to have a conversation. I would try to get to know you. I would try to figure out what you do. And if I didn't know what you did, or if I had the chance to get to know with what you did, I would do some research and figure out, okay, you like, Marvel comics, and we could talk about that for a little bit, and we can relate a little bit about that. Like, it's still a very human thing when you're asking for favors and meeting other content creators online. All right, so don't skip the human element of networking with people online. It gets very frustrating to see emails in my inbox, or even on Instagram. On Instagram, I'll get something like, hey, really enjoy this. Sorry to bother you, but could you come and look at my YouTube channel and like it and subscribe, please? I was like, wow. So don't do that. Build a relationship with me. Like, if it's me that you want to do something for you, like, I'm more than happy to engage and even step out of my comfort zone to do stuff. Like, currently somebody asked me through Instagram, the right way, Chaos After Dark, shout out to you, for going, hey, I really love what you're doing on Getting Lab podcast. I've been following you for a long time. I really liked this episode, and I was wondering if you'd be interested in doing something that can help you out in your podcast, and that pertains to a podcast network and things like that. And so I really appreciated that. I said, okay, cool, friend me on Facebook, let's chat a little bit more. And we chatted, and it wasn't a weird chat where he didn't jump right to the sale of what he wanted, but he just told me about what his thing was, what he was doing, and I appreciated that. Like, I have no problem with that. Like, get to know me first as a person, if that's what you want, right? If your goal is to gain some sort of favor or whatever from content creators, is get to build that relationship. You don't want to just skip you to skip all the bases, right, and jump to home base. You don't want to do that. So those are just my thoughts. My voice is leaving me for some reason, I think because it's freaking hot in here. But yeah, so those would kind of be my thoughts on how to approach another content creator. And this is not something that I do personally, and I think I should, because there's a lot of potential that can be gained from collaborating with other content creators, and I'm going to get better at it. I'm going to start doing that during this year. Now that I've retired from shooting, I have so much time on my hands. I often now fill it with just shooting the daily show or writing or creating content, and I want to reach more outside of what I've been doing on that front. So good things on that. What's our time? All right. So this kind of brings us into this next segment of the show, which I kind of give a shout out to Bertha and Victoria, who are having a new show premiering today, Saturday, on YouTube called Love Asterisks. So it's a show about very real talk about dating and sex and relationships. And I love talking about relationships, right? I try not to make too many of those because it kind of clashes with the things that I do, and I don't want to put too much of our life on blast because Kevin is very reserved. But they have a very funny show, and it's very real. It's all shot on an iPhone, for one thing. And she was somebody who reached out to me in the right way. So I want to give you guys a little example of what she did. And basically she sent me an email, and it was titled Blog Post Suggestion. And you know what? I didn't even notice the title until like right now. But anyway, she goes, "Hey, I'm a fan of the blog, and I read, I watched this video, I read this blog or whatever. And it really was really interesting. Thank you for sharing that." And then she went in to introduce herself as an actress and this new show that she's going to have on YouTube. And if I would be willing to give it a shout out or a mention, she even gave me a press release. Now, I don't really do the kind of press release thing. That's just my deal. I don't mind giving a shout out to you guys. That's a great way of introducing yourself. But another thing that you could have gone with it, Bertha, and this is what I asked you to do, was, if you were looking at me as somebody who could disseminate your new content and kind of get the word out about your show, I would kind of figure out what they're doing currently and maybe try to help whatever they're doing that currently. So I have this like show called the Lab Rat Dailies, right? And I have the Get in the Lab show with Kevin that I host every Wednesday. And so we always ask our people that watch is to submit questions to the show so that we can answer them on the show and do that whole bit. And so I would have been paying attention to that kind of thing, been in our social feed, been in our Facebook page, kind of stalking what we do and see what we're looking for. That way, when you approach me as somebody who can share and spread the word about your show, is that you have a clean, right hook as how to sell me to get me to do your favor, right? That would be to ask me a question on the show, and hey, and maybe it's a question that is a really good one. It's not just this super generic question, right? So I asked you to do that for me because I thought, you know what, this is fine. It's fine that you ask me to share whatever you're doing. It's great. You guys can always ask me to share what you're doing as long as I dig it, right? And I do dig it. I do dig the show. But if you can always remember that I'm also too a content creator and that I am hungry for creating content. So when you give me a means to create content, and this kind of goes for every content creator, I'm going to jump at that. I want that. Okay. That's fuel for me. So if you give me fuel, I like that. I can keep going. It gives me another edge to how I want to, put out the show and the energy that I can put into the show. All right. So, and she did ask me a question on Twitter, which we're going to answer on Wednesday with Kevin's input. And I have a lot of things for you, Bertha. All right. So there you go. That's today's show in the Weekend Warrior, how to approach another content creator with a favor, or if you want to get in favor with another content creator, and basically, building authentic, good relationships for you and your business online and your brand, really, right? So that was it. It's Saturday, so I hope you're taking a nice little breather. I am. I think I'll be hitting the gym pretty soon. And oh yes, the wedding campaign for charity water is still going on. We have reached now $167 of our $2,000 goal for charity water. And I've just been amazed at how much, people are actually donating. I thought it would be like $10 here or there. Somebody donated like $100. Somebody donated like $50. And so I'm really pumped up about that. If you can keep spreading the word, because to me, like, yes, personal branding, yes, business, yes, hustle, but a big reason in my new kind of outlook on life is to contribute back to humanity, and our wedding later on this year is a great excuse to give back to people who actually really need it. Okay, so I'm gonna put that link in the description, and if you're feeling like you need to donate, you can please use our campaign to help donate to families that need water where they do. Okay. Other than that, I think I'll sign off. My voice is leaving for some reason. So once again, my name is Megan. We'll see you tomorrow on the Lab Rat Dailies show. We're going to talk, it's Cozy Sunday. So we're going to talk about this book that I've been reading called Tax-Free Retirement, which is really, really important for you. Okay. No matter what you are doing right now, this is important information for you to know as to when you start making money and where to put it and how to save it, so the government doesn't take like freaking all of it, okay? Not all of it, but like a lot, like more than they should, okay? So seriously, I'll catch you tomorrow on Cozy Sunday. And thanks for tuning in to the Lab Rat Dailies, and thanks for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. Good things. All right, good things. Once again, my name is Megan, and I'm out. Peace.